Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Senior Talk and Walks. I'm Bill. Today I'm coming to you live from the beautiful Texas Hill Country. As you can see behind me, we're actually in Uvalde County, which is about 20 miles west of Kerr County, where Kerrville, Texas is. Our hearts and prayers still go out to all those people that went through those devastating floods. But however, this is a beautiful part of Texas. If you ever get a chance to come down here to the Rio Frio Canyon, that's where we currently are, as you can see. Got a great topic for you today, and it's based on cell phones. And I'm going to show you some of the best cell phones that you can get as a senior. Thank you for that introduction out on the trail, Bill. I appreciate that. And now I'm in my comfortable little home studio here, because it is comfortable. And today I want to talk to you about something most of us use every single day. But sometimes we actually curse under our breath while doing it. Can you guess what that is? Yeah, you guessed it. It's cell phones. They keep us connected with family, absolutely for sure. They help keep us safe. I think we can all agree with that. They take pictures, our great pictures that we want to take, especially those of our great-grandkids, and just our grandkids, I mean. But they can also be frustrating, especially for those of us over 55. And I hate to break it to you, I am over 55. Today, we're going to talk about the best, easy to use cell phones for seniors. So here's what we're going to cover. Number one, what to look for in a senior-friendly phone. I'm going to tell you my top recommendations. I've done the research. Feel free to fact check me, but I've done it. And I'm going to give you some tips to make any phone easier to use if you already have one, and even what to avoid. So grab your walking shoes or your favorite chair and let's get started. So look what I have here. I got a handful of technology here that some of you that are as old as I am can remember, all right? So let's even go back before phones. You remember what these guys were? These are pagers. This was a pager called the Motorola Pageboy 1 that was one of the most popular pagers in the world back in the 50s and in the 60s. Very, nobody ever knew that cell phones were going to be a thing. It was all about pagers, right? Well, I even have one that's older than that. I believe this is an RCA. I'm not sure. This goes back into the 50s, and I collect these things, and so it's a really good conversation piece. The whole thing is basically the antenna. That's why it's made of metal. Goes way back. And then paging got kind of a little sophisticated. They came out with a numeric model. Rather than those that just gave you a beep and you had to call somebody, this will actually, the numeric pager would actually give you a number to call back on. So somebody could call into the system, punch in the number that they want you to call back on. This revolutionized the market in the 80s, okay? And that went to the alphanumeric unit, where you could even type in, if you had a little keyboard. This was way before internet and things like this. Remember, this is 80s, 90s. You could actually type a full message and somebody could see what your message is, alphanumeric. Well, then, look at this guy. Some of y'all may remember this. We used to call it the brick. It's made by Motorola. This is one of the first consumer available cell phones that actually worked great, had a huge battery pack back here, and this is what they look like. It's got a little rubber extended antenna on the top. I think I already broke mine off from years ago, but they used to call these the brick, and you can see, and it is kind of a brick. But this was the staple for cell phones when they first came out, and now we've got our little mini computers here that can do basically everything. They say there's more technology in this iPhone than there was on the entire mission in 1969 to the moon. All in one phone. Can you believe that? So it's come a long way, baby, from pagers to phones, and that's when I say that they're going to be here forever, so we might as well get used to it. So as a senior, we got to stay on top of this technology, guys. We got to stay tight with it. It's good for the brain. Let's keep it going. Don't use that. Another one of my videos I talked about, don't let the old man in. Don't let the old woman in. Don't use the age card, that then the senior card, like, oh, I'm old and I can't
I don't know how to do all this stuff. Hey, go to YouTube, watch my videos, watch other videos. We can tell you, and it can tell you, YouTube can tell you everything that you need to know. Ask your grandkids, your kids. Stay up on this technology. It's really a lot easier than you think it is. Don't let it get you, because it really is a great tool and it'll really help you out. Let me tell you first why I wanted to make this video. A friend of mine, he's in his 60s, got one of those new fancy smartphones. I have a smartphone, but this was even a later model than mine. Got it last year, and he was so excited at first, but that kind of started to go away. Within a week or so, he was calling me every day. Bill, how do you turn the ringer back on? Bill, why are my texts so small all of a sudden? They were this and now they're that. My phone just updated, and now everything is different. Does all this sound familiar? Probably so. Well, I have certainly had my own moments of wanting to throw my phone in the lake, absolutely for sure. But the truth is, these phones can definitely be lifesavers. They're not going away. They're here to stay, and we need to make this work. So let's make it work for us rather than against us. So, what should we look for in a phone? That's number one. Let's decide what we need in our particular situation. Well, as always, I like to keep it simple. We need big text and icons. If you need a magnifying glass, it's not senior friendly, right? We need it loud. We need the volume clear. We want to actually hear calls and ringtones. We want the big buttons or a simple touch screen. No more hitting the wrong letters, how our fat fingers can kind of mess up all that. Hit the wrong numbers and the wrong letters. We want simple menus. We don't want 200 apps that we'll never use, just the ones that we need, right? We want the emergency features. We want the one-touch dialing for 911 or our family members. We want good battery life. We don't want to charge it 3 times a day. We want to charge it once and let it go, hopefully for a day, 2 days or so. If your current phone doesn't do these things, well, it might be time for a change. And that's what we're talking about. Now, before we dive into specific phones, let's talk about something really important. What's the difference between the Android format and the iPhone format? We've heard a lot about that. First of all, the iPhone, all the iPhones are considered iOS, and the OS is operating systems. That's what that stands for. So all the phones are either iOS or they're Android, okay? Apple, anything Apple runs on is all on iOS. That's because all the different devices can talk to each other, and that's a big benefit. The iPhones are very consistent. The iOS format is very consistent. It works just about the same. There's excellent accessibility features, big text, high contrast, the voice commands like with Siri. And as I said, the iOS and the iPhones are seamless with other Apple products, so that really makes it nice. They have long-term software updates. They're not updating every night. Now, they usually are a little bit more expensive, and you can feel a little bit more locked down if you're used to an Android. Think of the iPhones as the Cadillac, okay, of easy-to-use phones. They're very polished, but you're probably going to pay a little bit more. The Android or other manufacturers like Samsung, Motorola, Nokia, phones like that, etc. They run on what's called the Android system, which was designed by Google. There's a huge variety of these. You can get these at Walmart and Target, and there's lots of brands, models, price points. Many have customizable settings. They have easy mode, we'll talk about that, that's available on most of their models. Usually they're much cheaper. You can get Android phones in the $40 to $50 range, sometimes even cheaper than that. The downside is the interface varies a lot between brands. Software updates don't last as long, as I said before. More apps are pre-installed that you may not want to use. So think of the Android like buying a car brand. You can choose the simple base model or the luxury SUV. More options, but sometimes more confusing as well. Which is better for you? Which is better for seniors? Honestly, there's no universal answer to this. If you want consistency, simplicity, and great support, iPhone they're very, very hard to beat. If you want to save money, like most of us do, or you like the customization that you can do, Android is an excellent alternative, especially with the easy mode turned on. That's something that a lot of people talk about with Android. So, all right, with that in mind, let's look at some actual phones. All right, these are what I recommend. I'm going to give you a few options from super basic, very, very basic, to more advanced, but still very easy, okay? Number one is the Jitterbug Flip 2 by Lively. That's right, it's the old style flip phone, which are coming back. A lot of people like that. It's the classic flip phone style. It's got the big buttons. It's the simple yes, no navigation. They're loud, they're clear sound, dedicated, urgent response button, which is always good. They have a lot of affordable service plans. And these things usually are around $80 to $100 and even less in many cases. It's perfect if you just want calls and texts. No fuss, great value. Along that same line, number two is the Jitterbug Smart 4. That's kind of the Jitterbug version of the smartphone. It's also by Lively. It's a real smartphone, but designed for seniors. It has a large screen with big icons. It's got the easy lit base menus, voice typing for messages, which is huge. It's got the emergency button. They're a little bit more, approximately $150 to $200. Once again, much less if you get them restored. It's basically a smartphone without the typical headaches, for sure. Number three on my list is the Consumer Cellular Link 2. It's a very affordable flip phone. It has the backlit keys, simple calls and text. It's a great senior-friendly customer service that they have. And they're approximately $60 to $80. Once again, a lot cheaper at some of the big box stores and if you want them restored. So if you're on a budget or you just want basic features, this one is one of the most wallet-friendly options out there. Number four, the iPhone SE, 2022 or newer models. The Apple's most straightforward smartphone, for sure. It's got great accessibility, big text, voice commands, once again through Siri. It's got the emergency SOS features, excellent camera, long support lifespan, which is huge. They're more expensive, $350 to $430 or so. Some places much less. They're definitely more expensive, but can do a lot. And they're very intuitive once you get the hang of it. Number five, the Samsung Galaxy A14 or A25. These are affordable Android smartphones that have the easy mode for seniors. They're bright, they've got the large screen, great battery life, and they range from $150 to $220. It's a great choice for Android fans who want a modern phone that's still very easy to use. The next on my list is the Nokia 2780 flip phone. Also, big buttons, classic design, $80 to $90. And that's a one right along that is made by Motorola called the Moto G 2024, 2025 models. Large screen, easy mode, huge battery. Get this, 2 to 3 days on a battery charge. $150 to $200 retail. These are all retail charges I'm talking about. So let's say you already have a phone. You don't have to buy a new one. Well, there's a lot of things that we can do for that too. You can increase your font size in your settings. You could turn on high contrast or the dark mode. That'll help you see the screens better. You can use the voice to text for messages so you don't have to look down at the phone. You can add shortcuts for favorite contacts. You can set up an ICE account, ICE, in case of emergency. These little changes can make a huge difference for a phone that you already have. Ask your kids, your grandkids to help you with the settings and show you how your existing phone can take care of a lot of these things for you. Make them earn their dinner. your kids, your grandkids is what I meant by that. Let's also talk about what not to buy. Stay away from the ultra cheap no-name brands. They break really often. Don't get the kids or the prepaid burner phones. Often they're way too small, they're underpowered. Just stay away from that. Stay away from old smartphones that are out of date. You don't want to get somebody else's problems there. You don't need to spend a fortune to go, but don't go cheap. A reliable phone is very worth it. All right, friends, that's my take on the best easy to use cell phones for seniors. Remember, pick what fits you the best. And don't let people shame you into things like the flip phone or things like that. Don't let them shame you for wanting something simple, big buttons and things like that. It's about staying connected and staying safe. You're not trying to impress anybody. If you have a favorite phone, share it in the comments for me. Let me help you. I'll give you some more information, or I'll hopefully put you onto a link that'll help you. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. I'm getting a lot of response that people are watching the videos, but they're not subscribing. Please subscribe, but that'll help me get you the videos that as soon as they're released so you can see. Remember, as seniors, we're not slowing down. We're just getting better at making life work for us. So until next time, thank you very much for staying with us, and I look forward to seeing you next time.